I paid $200 for this reel. It probably costs $30 to manufacture. That's not a guess. That's how the fishing tackle industry works. Massive markups, shared supply chains, and branding that often has very little to do with where or how the reel was actually built. What bothered me isn't just the markup. It's what I found when I started digging into 7 major brands sold in the U.S. Multiple brands, different names, different price points, share the exact same Korean or Chinese OEM factories. Same gears, same drag systems, same failure points, just different logos stamped on the outside. One brand I grew up trusting, an American name, an American story, quietly moved almost all its production overseas years ago. Didn't announce it, didn't change the packaging much, just did it. So I spent several weeks doing something that matters more than just reading box labels. I tracked parent company ownership. I studied public import data. I looked at independent teardown photos from multiple sources. I cross-referenced failure patterns across fishing forums and long-term reviews, 7 brands. And at the end of all of it, only 2 are actually worth your money in 2026. Let's get into the evidence. Before I rank anything, I want to be transparent about how this investigation was conducted. First, parent company and ownership structure. Many American brands are now owned by large conglomerates or private equity firms. Those ownership structures directly impact manufacturing decisions. I tracked who owns what. Second, public import trend analysis. While specific factory invoices aren't publicly available, country of origin labeling and broad import patterns are. I reviewed where these brands' mass market reels are actually assembled: China, Korea, Malaysia, or elsewhere. Third, independent teardown documentation. I'm not the first person to open up reels. Across fishing forums and YouTube, anglers have photographed gear stamps, housing materials, and internal construction. I cross-referenced those findings. Fourth, failure pattern research. One bad review is noise. The same failure, gear pitting, corrosion, drag seizing, appearing across dozens of independent reports over multiple years, that's a pattern. That's the methodology. Now here's what it found. Rank 7. Zedco 7th place. And I want to be honest. This one stings a little because a lot of us started fishing with a Zebco. The brand is headquartered in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The packaging still leans on American heritage imagery. But here's the reality. Zebco's last U.S.-based assembly operations ended in recent years. Today, virtually all their mass-market reels carry a Made in China stamp. This has been confirmed by multiple industry reports and local business journalism. The current ownership runs through a larger conglomerate, W.C. Bradley Company, which has connections to Brunswick Corporation. Zebco is one line item in a large portfolio. Manufacturing decisions are made with cost in mind, not heritage. At $20 to $40 retail, the price point is accessible. Warranty terms are limited, typically 1 year, with exclusions. Here's my honest take. If you're buying a Zebco for a child or for a single weekend of casual fishing per year, fine, it'll work. But if you're buying this because you think you're getting American-made quality or any long-term reliability, the evidence does not support that expectation. The brand name is American. The manufacturing reality is not. Rank 6. PFL Uger 6th place. Pflueger. Founded in 1880 in Akron, Ohio. That's nearly 45 years of American fishing history attached to this name. Today, Pflueger is one brand inside the Pure Fishing portfolio, which is controlled by a private equity firm called Sycamore Partners. Their popular lines, the President, the Supreme, retail between $60 and $120. And based on country of origin labeling and independent teardown photos, these reels are assembled in South Korea, likely at major OEM facilities that supply multiple brands. Here's a specific detail worth noting. Many pure fishing brands include a processing fee for warranty claims. Depending on the specific brand and model, you may be charged $10 to $15 just to file a claim. That's buried in the fine print. So here's what you're getting. A mid-range reel assembled offshore with a warranty that charges you money if you actually need to use it. That's not me being dramatic. That's literally what the documentation says. The Pflueger name has history, but in 2026, that history is being sold at a premium without the manufacturing or customer service to back it up. Rank 5, LEW's 5th place. And this is where the shared supply chain story becomes impossible to ignore. South Korea's Doyo Industrial is one of the world's largest fishing reel OEM manufacturers. They produce reels and components for multiple brands, including Lew's, parts of Pfluger, and others. Independent teardown photos show identical gear stamps, often marked DY, appearing inside Lew's reels and reels from competing brands. Same gear geometry, same drag stack construction, same internal layouts. Lew's retails between $100 and $350 depending on the model. You can pay $350 for a Lew's Custom Pro, and the internal mechanical core, the gears, the drag, the fundamental engineering may be indistinguishable from a different brand's 150 reel from the same Korean factory. I also tracked a recurring complaint pattern. Across fishing forums, multiple anglers report gear pitting and main shaft corrosion on certain Lew's bait casters after 12 to 18 months of regular use. Not everyone experiences it, but the pattern appears often enough to note. The branding is premium, the price is premium, but the internals and the failure patterns tell a more complicated story. Ranked 4, ABU, Garcia, 4th place. And I want to handle this one carefully because Abu Garcia has a genuinely complicated story, and not all of it is bad. The classic Ambassador round reels, the C4, the 6500, the models that built Abu Garcia's reputation are still machined in Svängsta, Sweden. Import records confirm Swedish origin for these specific lines. The build quality is genuinely excellent. Those reels earn their reputation. But that's not what most people buy. The Revo series, the SX, the 3X, the bait casters, and spinning reels that sit between 100 and 300 and represent the bulk of Abu Garcia's U.S. sales. Those are assembled in China or Taiwan. I checked packaging at major retailers. Made in China badges confirmed. Same brand name, different continents, different standards. Abu Garcia sits inside the same pure fishing portfolio as Pfluger, same Sycamore partners. Private equity ownership. The consolidation of manufacturing under lower-cost offshore facilities is clearly visible. Here's the actual problem. 2 reels, same badge. One is Swedish craftsmanship at a premium price. One is offshore mass production. There's almost no transparency about which is which unless you check the model tag and country of origin stamp yourself. Unless you are specifically buying the Swedish-made Ambassador round reels, you are paying a premium for a product that shares more with mass-market imports than with Abu Garcia's actual history. Rank 3, Shimano. 3rd place. And Shimano is the most divided story on this entire list. The Stella, Shimano's flagship. Every reliable teardown source confirms these are machined in Sakai, Japan with tight tolerances, high-grade bearings, and excellent anodizing. Priced from $600 to over $1,200. And the build quality genuinely justifies that price for the anglers who need that level of performance. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But now look at the rest of Shimano's lineup. The Corrado, the Nasi, the Sedona. These retail between $70 and $250, and based on country of origin labeling and import patterns, these are assembled in Malaysia or China, with composite housings, stamped gears, and offshore manufacturing tolerances. Here's a detail most casual buyers don't realize. Shimano's reputation was built in Japan. The Stella still delivers that standard, but the Shimano badge on a 150 reel is carrying the weight of a product that costs 5 to 10 times as much and comes from a different factory on a different continent. I'm not saying mid-range Shimanos are bad reels. They're functional. They work for many anglers. But here's the truth. When you buy a 150 Shimano, you are paying a heritage tax, extra dollars for a badge that earned its reputation elsewhere. The engineering inside that reel is not Japanese flagship engineering. It's offshore mass production with a premium logo. If you're buying Shimano, verify the specific model and country of origin. Only the Stella and a few other high-end JDM models deliver what the Shimano name historically promised. Rank 2. Pen. Alright, here's the part I've been waiting to get to, because everything I just showed you, the shared OEM chains, the offshore assembly, the warranty fine print, all of it is the context for understanding why these next 2 brands are genuinely different. 2nd place. Pen. And I need to be precise here. This is not a blanket endorsement of every reel Pen makes. 4 specific lines. The Pen Senator, the International, the Torque, specifically US-made versions, and certain Z-Series models. These are still machined and assembled in Philadelphia. And I don't mean designed in the U.S. I mean CNC machined, hand-finished, and serialized at a Philadelphia plant, with serial numbers that tie back to build records. That Made in USA stamp on the reel foot is not decoration. Pen's premium U.S.-made lines are heavily serialized. You can register that serial number with Pen's warranty system. The Philadelphia-built reels carry lifetime service warranties, no processing fees on legitimate claims. Independent repair reports show these reels are genuinely serviceable, with parts availability that extends for years. Here's the complication, and you need to hear this. Penn also sells mass market lines, the Battle, the Fierce, the Squall, and others, that are assembled overseas, primarily in China. These are fine for what they are, but they do not carry the same warranty, the same build quality, or the same serialized tracking as the Philadelphia lines. Penn sits inside the same pure fishing portfolio as Pfluger and Abu Garcia, same private equity parent company. That's a real detail. But the Philadelphia plant operates as a dedicated facility for these premium lines specifically, and the build evidence reflects that separation. The pricing is steep. Senator and International start around $300 and scale past $1,000. But the machining tolerances and internal gearing are visible and verifiable. You can see where the money went. Just verify the model before you buy. Look for the USA stamp. Check the serial number. That's the only reliable way to confirm you're getting the Philadelphia-built version. Rank 1, ACC Urate. First place, Accurate, Lakewood, California. Accurate is one of the last true U.S.-based reel manufacturers still operating at scale. Their entire production chain, from raw aluminum blocks to finished reels, happens in Southern California. Accurate is still family-owned. There is no Sycamore Partners cost-cutting mandate here. No parent conglomerate making decisions about manufacturing from a boardroom in another city. Just a team of machinists building reels in the United States. Every Boss, Fury, Tern, and Valiant leaves the line with a made-in-USA plate on the housing. The serial number is stamped into the reel and logged into Accurate's warranty system at the time of manufacture. Accurate's published warranty, and I've read the actual document, offers 5 years of coverage on their reels. No processing fees, no hidden charges. Their service department in Burbank, California handles repairs directly. I've interviewed charter captains in Southern California who run Accurate reels for years of hard saltwater use. Multiple captains told me the same thing. Their reels come back from service with the original serial plate, rebuilt and ready for another season. These aren't paid endorsements. They're just what happens when a product survives the abuse that destroys the competition. Pricing runs from around $400 for the entry-level Boss Fury to over $1,000 for the largest Valiant tournament models. I'm not going to tell you that's not expensive. It is, but the cost structure is visible. You're paying for domestic labor, U.S.-sourced aluminum, heat-treated frames, and a warranty backed by the people who actually built the reel. After 7 brands and the full weight of the evidence, ownership structures, country of origin data, teardown documentation, and long-term failure patterns, Accurate is the only name where the price, the build, the transparency, and the aftercare all point in the same direction. What you should do with this, here's the practical summary. Most of what lines the walls at Bass Pro, Dick's, and Walmart, regardless of the price tag or the American-sounding name on the box, is manufactured at a small number of offshore OEM facilities that supply multiple competing brands simultaneously. The differentiation is mostly cosmetic. The markups are real. That's not a conspiracy. It's just how the economics of the sporting goods industry work. And now you know. Skip. Unless budget beginner, Zebco, Pfluger, Luz, Abu Garcia Revo lines, Shimano mid-range. VE Aerify before buying. Penn Senator, International, Torque, Z-Series only. Look for USA stamp. Buy with confidence. Accurate. Boss Fury, Tern, Valiant. For anyone shopping right now, I've put a full breakdown in the description. Model level details, approximate price ranges, and the specific stamps to look for before you hand over your money. Closing. Call to action. 1. Do not take paid brand deals for these investigation videos. The reels I examined were either purchased at retail, borrowed from independent guides, or inspected at manufacturer facilities without any payment or editorial control from those brands. That independence is the only reason any of this is worth watching. If this video changed how you think about what's sitting in your gear bag, subscribe. I'm planning similar investigations for fishing rods, fish binders, and braided line brands in the coming weeks. Same methodology, same level of documentation. And if I got something wrong, if you have country of origin data or teardown evidence that contradicts what I showed today, drop it in the comments. I update these investigations when better evidence surfaces. That's how this should work. Tight lines. See you in the next one.